If you've been looking for the perfect affordable multi-effects unit, then this might be interesting to you. Stick around. Hello there, welcome back. Today I'm going to take a look at multi-effects units that I currently own. I have a nice little collection, not that I'm trying to collect them. I've just been searching for the perfect multi-effects pedal. I've got to have four things. I've got to have, one, great tones. Now most units are going to have great tones. The more better units are going to have more better tones. It's just how it is. I want to have a rhythm section. I want to have a drum machine built in. I want to have a looper. Doesn't have to be huge. I just need to get a phrase or two down that I can play along with. And I need to have a USB audio interface. Mostly because for YouTube purposes, to get better sound quality so I can record directly into a DAW. And just in case, I just want to have it. So let's take a look at some of these pedals that I've got. This here was my very first pedal ever. Multi-effects unit pedal ever. I've got the box. And inside the box, the original owner's manual. Woohoo! Do I have a stinger for that? No, I don't. Anyhow, the Zoom GFX1 was a great unit for the time. It had great tones. It had if you used a special adapter, you could use a stereo output, put it into 2 amps, gave you a beautiful sound. And it takes batteries, so you can power it on the go, take it on the road, and they lasted a long time. I can't recall when I changed the batteries in this before. I don't use this anymore. Again, my needs have changed. This does not have a drum machine, it does not have a looper, and it does not have a USB interface. Still, a great standalone effects unit. So, as time went on, the Zoom GFX1 was not meeting all the needs. It had the tones, but not all the tones. Because, hey, if you want tones, you want Boss tones. And that's when I got the Boss ME8. Again, this is an all-in-one unit made by Boss. It's got some serious effects built in. I don't own any Boss pedals, so I don't know if the blues driver on this sounds exactly like a blues driver, or if the OD1 sounds exactly like an OD1, but it is made by Boss, so I trust that it's pretty darn close. Now again, this is just effects, no looper, no USB audio interface, no rhythm section. However, the effects are great. It does have a control button here. Now, this was the first one that I owned that you could actually turn an effect on and off using this particular button. So you could have a patch dialed in and perhaps have the overdrive assigned to the control button. Bam! Overdrive on, overdrive off. Again, nice effects unit. It's only effects, no USB, no looper, no rhythm. So as I searched, came across this Digitech unit. This was the very first unit I owned that had rhythm. The Digitech Rp100a, the A stand for artist, because apparently it has some artist type patches built in, has rhythm. No USB audio interface, no looper, and if you're familiar with these Digitech units, they sort of had the pedals lined up, you picked what you wanted, and you built your patch, and they sounded okay. Not great, but they sounded okay. And they had drums, big plus. So now I could play along with rhythm. Digitech Rp100a. Oh my God, I got the manual. Somewhere Josh Scott is just jelly as can be. Just a note on the Digitech units, they do take a special power supply. They take a 9-volt, and I believe it's AC, not DC. So don't try and plug in your regular pedal adapters for these Digitech units. They won't work. Don't know if it'll damage anything, but it won't work. Digitech, great brand, great units, which brings me to the Rp155. Now, when I got the Digitech Rp155, I thought my search is over. It's got everything I want. It's got some decent tones. It's got rhythm. It's got a looper. It's even got a USB audio interface. What more could I want? Now, if you go on the Digitech website, they still list this discontinued product. You can find it probably on Sweetwater or other stores for sort of archival purposes. Discontinued product. You can read through the product description. You can read through the feature description. But unless you grab the manual and read it, you're going to find out that the looper and the drums don't work together. They can't be used together. You can't turn on the drums and do a loop. You can't do a loop and turn on the drums. They are two separate entities whose paths will never cross. Wow. Useless to me. All in all, great unit. The USB audio interface is there. Works perfectly as an interface. No issues with that whatsoever. Hey, the drums are nice. The rhythms are nice. The loop is nice, but you can't use it with drums. This is not my perfect unit. This is the A-Moon Pop Rock. This is a little unit that I bought just to sort of have. It's portable. It did have a belt clip on it, which I took off. But primarily it's got some tones, some amp sims, some reverb effect. It's got OD, distortion, fuzz, and different cabinet sims too. All in all, not a great unit. It has drums. No USB audio interface, no looper. You can get some tones, you can play some drums. Not bad. For the price, if you just want something for drums, it's not bad. The A-Moon Pocket Rock. Not my perfect unit by any means, but not a bad little unit anyway. Let's go back to Zoom. The Zoom G-On1. The Zoom G-On1 has a looper. The Zoom G-On1 has a rhythm section, drum machine. The G-On1 has a USB port. However, that is only for firmware updates. It is not a USB audio interface. But what makes this unit so much better than the Digitech unit is that the looper and the drums play nice. The looper can be set to a specific time length. I max it out. And then when you start the looper, you get a countdown for the drums. So the drums are in sync, and because the loop is a specific time, you can lay down a loop and play to it all day long. It will never go out of sync. That makes this a great unit for the bedroom noodler. Highly recommended. If you don't need a USB audio interface, then this might be the unit for you. It has some neat built-in sounds. I particularly like the LA lead, the octave fuzz, the orange. It's got an orange emulation there. They all sound pretty darn good. There are newer versions of this. This is the G-On1. I forget what the new one's called. It's like $99. Still very affordable. Has very similar effects, and you can loop and drum at the same time. That's all I wanted, but no USB audio interface. Valton GP100. Oh, man. USB audio interface. Drums. Looper. Fantastic sounding effects. There's not a bad sound in here. I love them all. The wah pedal works just fine, as wah or volume, however you have it set up in your patch. It's got the buttons that you can switch between patches. However, this also has stomp box mode. So you have a patch you want to assign, hey, this to overdrive, this to distortion. You can do that. You want to assign this to overdrive and this to reverb and delay. You can do that. So you have assignable buttons to use in stomp box mode. Very, very nice. Looper, rhythm. Here's the shit though. And in this day and age, it's unexcusable that the looper and the rhythm don't work together. They cannot be synced to save your life unless you have the perfect press. You have to get it to the microsecond, to the millisecond, or it's not going to stay in sync. You might be able to play for a loop or two, but then the drums are going to creep away. You're going to be out of sync. Pisses me off. I love this unit. I wanted to love this unit, but without a looper and drums that work together, it's not the perfect unit for me. Very, very affordable, great unit. I love Valton. Is it Valton? I love Valton. I've had other little products from them. This does take the standard 9-volt center ground, 500 milliamps minimum. So if you're going to put this on a board, you can use the higher milliamps to your pedal power. As long as you do that, you should be fine. Got left and right output, aux in, phones in, USB in. And again, love it. The looper and the drums do not sync. They do not work together. This is not the perfect unit for me. But if you just want some great tones, this might be the unit for you. And in a second, we're going to plug it in and take a listen to it, show you some of the features on this unit. I won't go into a deep dive, but I do like it. I think you should have a closer look. Just an honorable mention here. This is another Zoom unit. This is the Zoom C5.1T. And it is not a multi-effects pedal. It is a USB audio interface only. I bought this primarily for the USB audio interface. Works fine. However, it's limited to 32-bit only operating systems. So this is kind of old. Won't work on a 64-bit version of Windows. So I still have a laptop with Windows 7 32-bit on. I can still plug this in, use it for the DAW. And it has a nice, it's called the Zoom ZFX Effects plugin. You can use it standalone, or you can use it within a DAW to add pedals, to add whatever. Very nice. Just a USB interface, not a multi-effects pedal. There are later versions of this that do have multi-effects built in, but this is not one of them. This is USB audio interface only. Honorable mention. Finally, this is probably, for me, the most perfect, affordable multi-effects unit, the Nux Mg300. The Nux Mg300 is a USB audio interface. It has a drum machine. It has a looper. They all play well together. The looper interface pairs with the drums. It's not fancy looking, but it gets the job done. They're going to be in sync. So you can lay down a loop, play with it all day long, and it will stay in sync. And it's good for overdubing. It overdubs well. The overdubs still sound clear, sound nice. Great unit. The wah pedal works fantastic. And it also has a hard-on. You give it a press. It doesn't have a hard-on. It has a press-on switch. So you give that a press firmly, and the pedal turns on if you have it set for a wah. Otherwise, it's a full-time volume. As an input and the output is stereo, so you can plug in phones, or you can plug in an adapter to mic out, not to mic out. You can plug in an adapter to go out to 2 amplifiers if you wish for stereo sound. The tones in it sound fantastic. The user interface, it's okay, no complaints. If I had one complaint about this unit, and it's only one, it's just the USB plug. As a micro USB plug, when you're putting something on the floor that you're going to stomp on and you want it to be plugged into your computer so you can record on your DAW, that's not the firmest plug in the world. The Valton unit has the big USB. I believe that's called a B. This is called a micro USB B. But this is a much sturdier plug for the USB interface. Again, the Nux Mg300 is, for me, at this time, the perfect and affordable multi-effects unit. It's got the drums, it's got the looper, it's got the USB audio interface, and they all play well together. And for me, that is the most important thing. Best solo. That's the drums. Now the looper on this is kind of finicky. This is a pain in the ass. Okay, so this is the Nux Mg 300. Now, if you click the jam button, you can change the tap tempo. You can pick out your drums here. Use this to go between the different genres. Now I'm pretty ordinary, so. And you can adjust the volume of your loop and your drums. Then you can take the jam button off and go back to your selection, pick whatever patch you want and play on top of it. Now the nice thing about the Nux unit is it will pick up and resync the drums. And that's a quick demo of the Nux Mg 300. Currently, it is my perfect, affordable multi-effects unit. I like it. Good unit. Now, I am sure that there are other units just like this Nux Mg 300 that are just as good. I just haven't tried them yet. So if you have an all-in-one multi-effects unit with drums, looper, USB interface, or even if it doesn't have those things, if it's perfect for you, then it's perfect for you. Just let me know in the comments if I should check it out. The Nux Mg 300 is my pick for the day. It beats the Valton only because the looper and the rhythm on the Valton do not play together at all. Whereas on the Nux, they work in perfect harmony. You can even change the rhythms and they will sync up. Very nice, very good. The Nux whammy pedal also has an on-off that you can use with the pedal itself, which is a nice feature that I like quite a bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at some of these multi-effects units that I have. And hopefully, if you're out purchasing one yourself, maybe this was helpful. So if you enjoy content like this, if you enjoy conversations about cheap guitars and cheap gear, then do me a big favor and hit the like and subscribe button. I really need the support. I want to quit my day job, to be quite honest with you. Come on, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be a YouTube star? Make it happen. Make it happen for me. I appreciate it. Thanks. Till next time. Talk to you later.